And welcome back. We are back with Deidre Ortiz of Kellogg. Deidre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jody.
It's good to have you here. I'm going to have you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk to you about your role at Kellogg, and then we'll talk about the cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm work for the Kellogg Company. I'm a fellow. That's my title. It's a rather unusual title, but what it means is that I direct technical programs for the Kellogg Company. So I'm a technical leader within the organization, and one of my major roles at Kellogg's is to direct the wheat programs. So I get very actively involved in global wheat programs for the Kellogg Company.
Well, and certainly when you look at wheat and look at wheat products at Kellogg's, it puts you in a very unique position, especially when you look at Michigan and our wheat industry.
Mm-hmm. So Kellogg's has had a history in Michigan. We've been here for a very long time. We started here, and we started with a lot of products that are Michigan-based. So we started with Michigan soft white wheat because that was what was here and what was available to us. And so a number of our products that we make are made with our heritage grains that we've had that were local to Michigan for a really long time. So we've had a really solid relationship with the Michigan wheat industry because that's what we use for a number of our products.
Well, and I think a lot of times people don't realize that tradition and the importance of wheat is not one of those crops we really talk about a lot. And, you know, certainly when we look at Michigan, wheat is very important.
It is very important. Michigan actually grows a type of wheat that's unusual. Michigan grows a soft white wheat, which is grown largely in the thumb and the thumb region. And then there's some pockets of white wheat that are also grown in other parts of the East, like Southern Ontario, a little tiny bit in New York, and virtually none in Pennsylvania. But there used to be a really solid growing base of soft white wheat in the Great Lakes growing region. And now it's pretty much only Michigan. And that's a really unusual, the Eastern soft white wheat is really an unusual crop. So there is soft white wheat grown in the western part of the United States, but it's a little different than the Michigan soft white wheat. And we really cherish and value the Michigan soft white wheat for a number of our products.
Well, and certainly looking at, there's not a lot of times that there's that neat market opportunity to really capitalize, especially when you have products that are really built around that white wheat.
Yeah. So and it's not just us, it's not just Kellogg's that has built around that soft white wheat. There's also Triscuits, which is a famous brand from another company, which actually says on the side of their box that they're made with the cashmere of wheat, soft white wheat. So they're they're romancing something that we believe deserves romancing, which is a really special wheat product that's grown in Michigan.
Well, and certainly when we look at the white wheat, what are, I guess, some of the specifics that does make it kind of that cashmere, that special product?
Okay, so soft white wheat is, well, first of all, it's a soft product, so it makes really good products like ready cereals, it makes good biscuits, which are crackers and cookies. It makes other products that would normally be a soft product made with a soft wheat. White wheat means that the bran component of the wheat is more sweet and less bitter. So generally it doesn't have as strong of a grainy flavor to it. And so while we are making products with a lot of whole grain and or bran as their major component with this white wheat, it doesn't taste as strongly bitter and grainy as maybe some other products that are made with a red wheat.
Well, and I think that's so important because I think a lot of times people think wheat is wheat is wheat, but there's so many different varieties and there really are differences.
There really truly are differences. And so, look for products that have a really good flavor in wheat, and I think you'll find that a lot of them are soft whites.
Well, and I know one thing that we go through a lot of at our house is certainly Pop-Tarts.
Absolutely. There are some Pop-Tarts, not all, but some Pop-Tarts that are made with a soft white wheat flour. And part of the reason why we make it with a soft white wheat flour is because we use a lot of soft white wheat bran in our all bran products. And so to help the mills be balanced, we also use the soft white wheat flour in some of our Pop-Tarts.
Well, and I think it's so important you say that because we certainly know Michigan is very important to that industry, but the relationship, I'm into wheat now and
Yes.
learning more about that, but the relationship that you all have to make sure you use this product, but you have a use for that product,
Yes.
it's just been so amazing.
Well, the Michigan wheat world is relatively interconnected. And so not just Kellogg's, but also other cereal makers like General Mills and Post, and then other people that make biscuits like Nabisco. We all do, to some degree, talk amongst ourselves along with the Michigan millers and the wheat breeders to make sure that there is still a market and a place for this unique crop to go. It's very important to all of us. We've worked hard together to make sure that that crop still exists because it's rather unique to Michigan and we think it's important.
Well, and I'm so glad you say that too, because we talk about the diversity of the ag in our state, but really white wheat just has a really good opportunity here,
Absolutely.
especially with some of those markets.
Absolutely. There's a rather expanding market for white wheat products, and we've seen all of the major companies that use white wheat invest in the white wheat that's grown in Michigan, and I think that's really an important story for people to understand and know.
Well, and we talk a little bit, some good stuff for consumers, specifically for growers. I guess what would you want them to know or realize that's important?
So growers need to know that companies are investing in soft white wheat. We are working on the agronomics of soft white wheat as well as the breeding of soft white wheat varieties that are agronomically favorable and that will provide you with an excellent yield. So we've worked closely with Michigan State to make sure that there's an active public breeding program. It's not just private breeders. We've also worked closely with private breeders to make sure that there are new varieties coming out annually that have really strong agronomic properties so that they can grow a crop that makes them money. So, because I want everybody along the value chain to win. So it should be growers need to have a product that they can grow and make money at. Millers need to be able to, elevators need to be able to make money, the millers need to make money, and then we need to be able to make money as well. So all along, and we need to provide a value crop to consumers. So all the way along the value chain, everybody needs to win.
Well, and as we talk about that will certainly keep us successful. What do you see as the future?
Well, there's so much going on with Michigan wheat. We're actually investing in some new varieties of soft white wheat that we think can be game changers. They provide some unique food properties that we think will really move this crop into something that's new and exciting. We're also working hard to make sure that this crop is sustainable from a business perspective and from a environmental perspective. So we want to make sure that wheat gets the credit that it deserves for being an environmentally sustainable crop.
Great. Deidre, well said. We appreciate it and appreciate the information and learning a little bit more about Kellogg's and how they work with the industry and with the growers. So we look forward to lots more good products in the future.
Thanks.
Folks, certainly we know the importance of agriculture in our state. We don't always think so much about the wheat industry, but just some more information when we look at the end user side of that, how the industry comes together and why wheat is so important. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this message.